fever nights plague our settling thighs. Sweat pools pouring, salty skin, sweet overture. To withstand without a touch. And now, sweet marmalade dew drips down my fingers, pushing through orgasmic flesh. This laughter fiercely formed in every corner of this house bellows on your face. Dear lover, reminiscent being, lick your hands. Be done with it.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Synthwave Hangout, episode 45, if you can believe it. My name is Memory Design.
And I am Woren from Windows.
And gets me every time.
I'm going to change it eventually.
Excuse me, it gets me every time. I swear to God. Yes, and for just to get this out of the way, for anyone who isn't watching the screen, just a reminder that this is the absolutely last show that is on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. We will be moving starting October 4th. Well, let me double check that. October 4th to Saturdays. So it will be at 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 Eastern, same as now, only it'll be on the weekend. So we'll see how it goes. But one thing I want to do before we introduce our special guest, because I want the music to be going, if you're watching, you can see that for some reason the title isn't displaying under the album artwork, which is a screw up OBS does sometimes with Winamp. So let me try to stop this, and the visualizer will go away for a second too. And then you'll hear a bunch of like beeps and explosions and stuff like that. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Hold on. It is still not there. I wonder why. I wonder
I'll
what's
just
going
say
on.
some things. I'm pretty excited about all of that. Upcoming for me this Friday, just so everybody knows, I have a new video coming out for Windows and another single coming on the album coming out. So it's pretty exciting this week. And then, just kind of like keep an eye out for that, or an ear.
Excellent. Do you want to talk a little bit about who that's with? All right, I think I fixed it. But
No, it's just me. It's just a me single on this one, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so no one should pay attention, is what you're saying?
Yeah, don't worry.
I'm just
don't even
kidding.
think about it.
I'm just kidding.
Just,
I love your stuff.
I'm not.
I love this new stuff. But I am going to start bothering you for another Woren album soon, by the way. As soon as this whole little Windows thing you're working on is over.
Yeah, right.
Whatever this little side tangent you're on is done. No, just listening to... it's funny, too, because people will hear this song behind... And they'll be like, what is this? What is this song? And you're like, nothing, listen to Windows. Right?
It's, don't worry about it. I mean, it's like the same thing.
Right. It's the same thing over and over again. But anyways, we shouldn't delay anymore, because we have a very special guest today. It's one of my favorite recent people to be added to the label. It's somebody who I met originally through show chats like this. And that is the incredible Nacho Wave. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Dave.
I'm really...
Hello.
Hello, I'm
Yeah.
really glad you're here. I'm really, really glad that you're able to do this, and the fact that if anyone doesn't know, it's his birthday today, and an album release. I mean, this is the perfect thing to have for the last show.
Yeah, pretty big day for me. Yes, indeed.
So, for anyone who's unfamiliar with Nacho Wave, could you give him a little just explanation of what kind of music you make and kind of how this project came to be?
Yes, of course. So basically, it started all with Synthwave. So I love Synthwave and I love electronic music. And the thing is, I'm pretty new to the music business in general. And let's say all of you guys made it pretty easy for me to keep going. And, you know, making more music, getting better every day, every time. I'm talking to so many awesome people, and yeah, basically I'm a newbie, to be honest. But yeah, I'm trying my best, you know, experiment a little bit, you know, mixing some trance and techno and hard techno and synthwave a little bit together, you know, blend it in, you know. But basically, yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
So
honestly.
you're one of these people that I love, and I'm very impressed with, in the sense that when I first started in this, I was releasing mixes out, they were just very amateur sounding. And I still think I come off like that a little bit. But I remember when I first heard your early stuff, I thought it was exceptionally well mixed and mastered. And then you were coming back to me and you're like, hold on. Remember, I was going to play some track and you're like, hold on, there's a remaster of the remaster I did, or something like that. And it keeps getting better and better. So I think you really have a natural talent to this, unless you secretly have been doing this behind the scenes, you know, it's like an audio engineer or something for the last 10 years or something.
I think it's important to touch on what he said earlier was like, it's important to keep doing it every day or as much as you can.
Yeah.
And that, you know, practice, you know, makes perfect. You just got to keep going.
Yeah, actually, a fun fact about my first album. Jesus, I forgot what the name was. A Colossal Disappointment. Fun fact: there's no mastering at all on these tracks. There's just mixing. Most of my early tracks are completely without mastering, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's all mixing. It's all synth based. I tried to make it sound good, but well, to be honest,
Right.
listening to it now, it's, well, exceptional, let's say.
Yeah, you know, when I first started out, I wasn't even really mixing drums. Like, I was using a Lin drum machine, right? Not like a software version. And I was like, this sounds pretty good to me. You know, and I just put stuff out with it, and now I hear back and I'm like, oh my god. You know, you learn a lot when you start out, but a lot of times the mix and master, in my opinion, isn't the most important thing. Is the music good? You know, if you think of musically, you can listen to something that's too quiet or something where things are poking out a little bit or whatever and still enjoy.
I mean, we listened to the metalcore music and stuff back in the day. That was all poorly mixed and mastered, almost all of it. And yeah. So I mean, it's just once again, it comes down to just musically. Do you like what you hear? Do you like what you not hear? There are objective truths, obviously. Like, you know, there's some things that could hurt, you know, the ear, you know, certain frequencies and stuff like that.
For sure.
But, you know.
Yeah, unless you like are boosting high end and cutting out all the low end, and it's like aggressive to listen to or something like that. I think you can get away with a lot of stuff. Now, that's not saying that something that's professionally or close to professional level mix and master doesn't sound much better. I mean, don't get me wrong here.
Sure, right.
But I'm just saying that, you know, the fact that your first release doesn't even have any mastering on it, I might not notice it because I'm more into the emotion and the feeling of the music, right? Unless it's like so quiet, I have to turn my stereo up to 100 or something like that.
Well, fun fact about that, I was talking a lot with Risingfield. He's like a mentor to me, and really embarrassing, I didn't even know what sidechain he was. Because he was asking me, what do you use for sidechain?
None of us did when we first started out.
I was like, what the hell is that? What the hell is sidechain?
Right, yeah.
So,
it's one of those things that you pick up, and once you start to hear it, like, it's funny because I was explaining this to my daughter the other day, actually. I was telling her, I said, now that I listen to, like if I listen to a song on the radio or something like that, you can tell now. You can actually actually hear.
You hear
the
things you
production
didn't hear before. You hear things that you didn't pay attention to before.
Yeah.
Right. No, the sidechaining thing, like when I first started out doing this, I wasn't aware of that either. I mean, I was coming from like I'm by trade, I guess you could say, like a drummer. You know, that's what my training was in and what I did musically for my whole life before I started doing memory design. And so like I never had any aspect of this, any understanding of this. I was playing drums. I didn't know what they were doing on the other end. And that was it. So I got on, and this is no shock to anyone. If you listen to Company Man, there's no sidechaining on it, which is like the most obvious thing to say ever if you've ever heard that album.
I mean, and yet it sounds incredible.
But now, I do use sidechaining, and it really makes that energy, move a lot more in the song. I see why it's so important. But
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, it's a whole world. Sidechaining, EQing, all these little things you have to do or you can do to make, some minor changes that the normal listener wouldn't even hear, but you're sitting on that mix like 3 or 4 hours and thinking, yes, that's it.
Right.
And
yeah, but that can also be like a detriment sometimes too when you do that. Like I understand what you're saying. Yeah, because once you've listened to something enough, you'll notice things that no one else is going to even notice.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So you can actually like overdo a lot of things. I always tell everybody, there's a million ways to get to the same point. You can arrive at the same sound or whatever, a million different ways, and it depends on how you pave your way, how you learn, and what works for you.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, I just want to give props to Aaron Niles in the chat, who said sidechaining leads to parallel compression, which leads to nerdiness, which is absolutely true.
There we go.
Right. Once you really get into it, everybody grows like a giant pair of glasses they're pushing up when somebody's talking to them, and they're like, well, actually, you have to add this, and everybody becomes like
and then you
very
make
into
sure
it.
Your side chaining, the bass, you only want to do about the first 150 or 250.
Right. Then you get into talking about hertz. Then you get into talking about like hertz with people that aren't musicians. Then you're full blown.
You sound like an electrician for a second if nobody understands what you're talking about.
Exactly. So as far as the Nacho Wave stuff goes, I'm a big fan of synthwave overall electronic music, I think. But you definitely hit some other styles and genres, like the last single you just released. I wouldn't say that's a traditional synthwave sound. So what kind of like influences, like your influences on certain like electronic music, like when you're listening or when you're trying to create music, like who are you influenced by who aren't like synthwave people?
That's a pretty hard question, to be honest. Me as a person, I'm a metalhead through and through, so I don't know where that influence came from, but I grew up in the 90s and with a lot of 90s techno, and I guess with my last single, Taking Control Machines, as I said before, it's a little homage to the future trance albums and stuff, but really influence?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Just doing. Well, basically, my music is all emotions. So if I sit behind my Cubase and I'm thinking, just playing around with my MIDI keyboard, and well, some things come up and just say, yeah, let's go.
Right.
Not really any guidelines, any guidance.
Yeah.
Just emotions. Actually.
Isn't that
just
the best
emotions.
feeling though, when you hit something or you find the right sound, or you like are noodling around on the keyboard and you get a melody you like? That feels so great. That's like one of my favorite feelings.
More importantly, I think what you another point of that is doing what you feel sounds good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're sculpting in a way.
Yeah, that's very true. You're like creating, people call it, we're called artists, right? For a reason, because you are making art in a sense, and sculpting, like you said, a sound design that is emotional to you, that you hope connects to that other people will connect with.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, because really, that's all you're doing is just you're you're basically putting yourself out there, musically.
Right, for sure.
Well, the thing is, I don't know. I guess it's hard. I guess it's hard for me as an artist, or for the fans, for me to get into my music, because one day I'm like making songs like 3 a.m. pretty moody, depressed synthwave, and the other day, let's go a hard techno track. And last week on the feedback show, well, I sprinkled some metal in. So what the hell? sometimes
that's okay though. I think people enjoy variety. It
For sure.
It depends. Like, yeah, I mean, if that's a hard thing to talk about, because like when you develop music and you're evolving, and like you said, you're just now like starting up and doing all this stuff, right? So it's like,
Yeah, and I think
it's
too,
just you finding your sound.
Unless you are one of these artists that lands with a very specific sounding album, right, that makes an enormous splash and everybody is like, I just want more of this, like that's what you're known for. You have the flexibility to throw in a song here and there that's a little bit of a different sound, and I think people appreciate that. In my opinion, I do. I know. I like when artists do that kind of stuff.
I agree too. I enjoy it when bands I like evolve as well, like album to album.
Yeah.
So, but once again, like I said, you're starting off, so this is going to be a journey of yours. I mean, I've been writing music for 27 years, and I've done a variety of different.
You've almost figured it out too. I'm very proud of you.
I've
You're so close.
Almost made a good song.
Made
a good song.
Keep grinding. Keep grinding, friend. You'll get to that one song eventually.
One day I'll write one song that's really good.
Right.
But actually, I really like the diversity that I can bring. Not just synthwave, but like techno and trance and house, so all the electronic influences, and then now metal. I think the farther I progress, I guess I won't leave these things. So I want to be a very diverse artist, because that's who I am.
Yeah, and what you'll find, or what I find with people that do diverse types of stuff like that, is there is a signature sound, or like ways that you like melodies or chord structures that kind of bleed through all this music, right? So you can hear a metal song, or you can hear a very classic Outrun synthwave song. If it's made by Nacho Wave, if they're a fan of your music, you will hear that they're kind of connected, that they have the same sensibilities to them.
Yeah, you'll hear the connection between like the style and everything.
Right, because like Woren and Windows sound very, very different, but knowing your music so well, I can tell it's the same artist making it, and that, and that's a compliment. I'm not saying they sound the same, but you know what I'm saying? The things I love about Woren and that music, I also love about Windows, but it's like a new generation of Woren in a way, to me anyways.
It's strange how that worked out, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, once again, that was just a journey, right? Like I made the Woren stuff, and then I made something that I thought was too different from what I was already doing, and then I was like, I'll just do this as like a separate thing, and then that's how that came about.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it did. I remember when you were first showing me that kind of stuff, and you're like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I say that about everything I make. I don't know about anything. Every time I make something, I'm like at the end, I'm like, I like it kind of, but I'm like. And that, but then again, I don't know. It's one of those things I just don't know how I feel. It's rare that I write something that I'm like, yes, this.
Well, Nacho hit the nail on the head back when he was talking about Rising Field helping him, because that guy has a lot of really good advice and opinions on stuff too. So you can always send stuff to him, and he'll be honest with you, which I appreciate about him a lot. So I'm a big fan of his.
Really, I love that dude. Really.
Yeah, he's actually hopped on a call with me before.
Field.
Right, he's hopped on a call with me before and helped me with some bass stuff and other things as well. So, the big props to that guy. I mean, he's definitely
it's really
a supportive
important to
person.
have people. Oh, my bad, Dave.
No, go ahead. I was just complimenting somebody and you just interrupted. No problem.
Oh, sorry,
no
I didn't mean to cut you off. I told you I'm in rare form today. I apologize. No, I was gonna say no. I just think it's important to have people that you can rely on for musical advice, and trust that they will be as honest with you as possible, and then also not really infringe on your what was the word? Dave, help me here. Infringe on like your
relationships.
I love you so much. I thought you were going to say. I was waiting for you to say something even more absurd, like cereal.
Right. No, that's a too far for me. It's got to be a little bit funny, but possibly the right answer, right?
All right, but yeah, no, but it's like you don't want to mess with anybody's like actual like musical progression or like the way that they write something, but you do want to be critical of like maybe like the structure or something like that. Like you have to have people around that can help you with that kind of stuff.
Right. Well, one thing I always try to do, like if Nacho ever sent me a track and he's like, "What do you think about this?" I'll always be honest in a constructive way, and I'll do that. And I do that with you, Dom, as well. As you know, like if I don't like something, I will tell you, and when you do that with somebody, they know that you're not BSing them, and not being like, "Oh, it sounds amazing," like that kind of stuff. And it's never fun. It's never fun to hear critical feedback, but I think for me anyways, as an artist, I think I respect that because I know they're not lying to me then. They have the guts to be like, I didn't like this or something like that, and make it through it.
Yeah, feedback is really, really important. That's the reason I love that feedback show. I mean, I'm there almost every time they stream, and I love that feedback. I know it's very critical, but I need this. I need things like that to improve myself.
I mean, if you look at me, I hate everything Dave makes. So,
right, that's right. That's how I know you're being honest.
Really easy to be honest with it.
Right. So I try to set the bar extra low with Dom, right? So that, if I ever make something that is even an inkling of something good, he's blown away, right? And then he's like, this is amazing.
Yeah, my mind literally will explode.
But hey guys, so we're a little bit past where we have to switch over, but we're at way past half the hour. So if it's okay with everybody, let's get into this next block, and then we'll come back after and talk a little bit more about this new album that you're just released.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we'll talk to everybody in a little bit.
Sparks in the dark, now it's going in. Why shoulders and our hair in the wind. We're chasing down the sun as the moon rises in.
My hands slide down as you shift into gear.
If love were a battlefield, I'd surrender here. You got me chasing a fever like a non-believer.
Midnight run away.
So come on, baby, let me take you higher.
Has the night away. Has the night away. Has the night away. Dance the night
And we're back. And a lot of interesting things in the chat. Some previews of things yet to come, or hopefully that will be coming soon from some of these artists. So I'd want to say it on the actual recording here in case it doesn't happen. But very excited to hear some possible Drumwave news coming down the line there. But anyways, so Nacho, I have to say to you specifically that the title of this album you just released, I love the the title of this album. I'm curious how you came up with it. It is so perfect. You know, when I first saw the cover, it's beautiful. When I first saw the title, I was like, this is excellent. This is like something I would have used for my stuff. So I was just curious how you came up with that.
Well, I mean, this whole album is about an emotional journey, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, dreams that died in stereo. Not all of us reach our dreams, or even some of some. I don't know. It's pretty hard to explain, but it's
Sure.
just-
I mean, it is an amazing title, right? Like when you thought of it, were you like, excellent? Like this feels really good. It did to me.
Yeah,
When I saw it,
yeah.
I was like, excellent work, Nacho.
I mean, the whole composition is as diverse as our dreams can be.
Yeah.
So and some pretty heavy, like the last song, "So Dreams That Died in Stereo," that covers a little bit like a journey. You know, you can't always reach your dreams, but at least you have to try.
Yeah.
You know, some dreams die. Some of our dreams we can't reach, but at least we have to try. So that's the whole message of the whole album, and the diversity behind it. You don't have to be the same every time, or you don't have to think the same every time in every situation. Even sometimes I don't know, society or like specific situations you are forced to do it, but you
Yeah.
don't have to. You are your own. You have your own life. You are your person. So just sometimes think different.
Right. And speaking of like to speak what we were saying before about the diversity in your sound and stuff like that, this album, to me anyways, when I was listening to it, is not just the same kind of sound all the way through. You know, it like 3 a.m. versus Dreams That Died in Stereo are very different sounding tracks, and they both have excellent emotion to them. I mean, I love 3 a.m. The kind of dark feeling of that song is phenomenal to me. And when we were talking about that video and everything like that, you never know what someone's going to send you. You know, like I'll help anyone out if they need it, that kind of thing. But it is always a pleasure when I receive an amazing track, and then you get to make some art connected to it. So, but yeah, I appreciate that this album is more, I would say, synthwave focused, but it definitely demonstrates some of your skill in other areas of electronic music.
Yeah, synthwave with a twist.
Right, exactly. Right. Dom, are you here, by the way? Did you jump back on?
I am. I was just
okay.
listening. I think it's important to actually have your own, like, I'm just going to keep saying the same thing, I guess, I feel like, but it really is important to have, like, your own flavor on things, like what you do, and, like, the sound that you create. So that's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So how did you have so many songs in your old catalog. How did you like? For this album, this is all newer stuff, right? Like stuff that you've created new. You don't have any of the old stuff on here, right? I don't know every single thing you've ever done, like by heart. So that's why I'm just asking this question. Is this all new stuff, or did you bring on some singles from the old stuff?
No, actually, there's a cut between my EP.
The intermission thing?
Like, no, not the intermission. A cut between songs from the EP, Midnight Flash, and the oldest song, I would say, it's My Longest Way Home.
Okay.
One of my personal favorites, by the way.
Right.
And yeah, it's basically, the new song is Dreams That Died in Stereo, obviously. But actually, yeah, that's a new era for me to try out my electronic skills like techno and house, because I mean the twist between 3 a.m. and Afterglow, that's the biggest twist, or Midnight Rain and Afterglow. Right. You have such a diversity, synthwave, chipwave, synth pop, and then cut with intermission, a little, and then you have just a step hard techno and house, and I love that. That's really
it's
cool.
good. The whole album I like all the way through, every song. It's not one of these albums. The album isn't too long. All the songs are really good. I'm very excited about that. That's not true for everyone's album. That's not true for albums I've made. But this album I like all the way through, and so I'm very, very happy you did that. I mean? Personally, selfishly, I guess I'm saying.
A lot of work, a lot of emotions are flowing in this record, and yeah, it's a little milestone. It's hard to be a musician. But you have to push through. You have to make your own things, trying to make your own sound.
Yeah.
Just
right.
don't cover things. Just come up with your own stuff. Even if it seems impossible at times, because there's so many amazing musicians alone in this label. But
right.
Yeah, at least we have to try.
Right.
We have to give it a shot.
Right. And just real quick, because we're going to be getting into 3 tracks from this album, and I'll be dropping links for anyone who wants to support Nacho Wave here. But how did you come up with that concept for the cover art? Is that what you originally thought you were going, the imagery for the cover art? Because it's very beautiful, but it's not exclusively that very traditional synthwave look, in a way. But it's gorgeous. I love that cover. I mean, I want that on a poster. It's very nice.
Thank you. Well, the artwork, I can't say how I get up with that, because it's just, in my free time I sit on things and, try around with some things, and I don't know, just this artwork. I just love it. It's
right.
Perfectly emotionally captures this album. Just those little things, this woman in the water behind some city skylines, the colors blue and orange. I really can't say how
I think that's what it is.
Came up with that.
The blue and orange is an excellent combo, and people will see it if they're unfamiliar. It'll be on the screen when we're playing this stuff. But I don't know. I love it. I was very happy with that when I saw it. Not that you need my approval for anything, but when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is so cool."
Every approval is nice.
Yeah, right. Any level of approval is good.
I mean, I said, it's important to find that connection, that make sure you're happy with it first, and then the rest will just fall in place.
Be confident with it. Confidence is key.
So we have 3 songs for this album that you picked out to show the album off a bit. Is there any stories or anything about these 3 that you feel would be relevant for the audience to hear?
I think it's more the diversity behind synthwave, synth pop, and house.
Yeah,
it's just a little peek on that diversity. That's
right.
Basically it, yeah.
I appreciated how they are all different, and I suspected that's why those are the 3 you suggested. They all demonstrate the different kind of shades, you could say, of Nacho Wave. You know, so if you like any of this stuff, then there's a lot more music for you to dive into, because you know, you've got like some real serious, like in your past catalog, you know, the stuff that's not on this album, some real poppy stuff, more, you know, house dancey stuff, more slower emotional stuff. There's all sorts of different stuff that's it's good for somebody like me who does a show like this, because I've done this in the past where I'll just go to your Bandcamp and be like, well, this block is something a little bit quieter, or this, you know, I've got like a perfect female type song that's high energy. What can I find in Nacho Wave's vast history that I can just like pull and put into this this mix? So I've done that a few times in the past.
A lot. You could find a lot. I mean, I have like 40 tracks already out.
Yeah.
I don't know, including my demo set. I mean, Project Afterlight, the whole demo set. I was thinking, yeah, let's make some electronic dancey music. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's only, you can find it only on Bandcamp. It's really older stuff.
Yeah.
Mixing, trying my best to work with vocals as such. You know, samples from Splice.
Right.
Yeah, even that is
right. No, and I don't know. Like, I've always been impressed with it. So everybody should check that out. Even the demo stuff. I remember we were talking, I think, in the past, and you, like, I was joking before about the remaster of the remaster and everything. And it's like, even the old demo stuff, I think is really good. So I'm happy to recommend that to anyone to check out.
Yeah, it means a lot, really. Thank you.
Sure. So if it's okay with you, let's move into these 3 songs we've been talking about for the album and let people hear who haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Anything you want to add, Dom, before we go?
No, I'm waiting to jam the music.
All right. Well, put your feet up. It's time.
It is time.
All right. We're starting off with 3 a.m. by Nacho Wave from his new album, Dreams Died in Stereo. Here we go.
to dream a brand new dream and turn it all around. I wander to and fro, and still wind up right back there. And if there is no tomorrow, then there never was a today.
And we're back. And I hope everyone enjoyed those three and saw the diversity and stuff that we were talking about. Nacho, do you get what Neon Shard said, the joke? I'm missing it.
Not really, but yeah, maybe.
You'll have to explain it for all of us.
I'm not that old, but yeah.
It's a good joke.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Okay.
So someone's gonna have to explain it in the chat to me because I it went way over my head. But that guy, this happens sometimes on the show where like people are making jokes. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. Happens all the time. So yeah, that was excellent. I hope people enjoyed that. And like I said before, those three songs that you picked absolutely demonstrated what this album is, right? You move from like a very gritty, dark sound and then into like what I would say is more of a traditional synthwave upbeat move into more of like a house dance, samples and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, excellent work on that.
Thank you.
I appreciate when an album like this comes out. But so this album is done and out, and I know there's like the promo cycle with it and everything. But what's the next step in Nacho Wave, or have you not even thought about that yet? Or are you just focusing on promo?
I mean, I got some special things for, I don't know, maybe end of the year or starting 2026. I don't know really yet, but I can say maybe there are some features on some of those tracks, but I really don't want to say more. But there's a lot to come.
That's excellent. Yeah, that's
fun.
That's what I want to hear. I love features. I love the collab stuff people do. And I mean, that's one thing with when you get into a community like RetroSynth or shows or whatever, you do start meeting people and you can start, you start getting people to help out with stuff or whatever. I don't know if that's what you're alluding to, but either way, I'm always excited when there's features and all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
what DAW do you use?
Cubase.
Cubase, okay.
Yeah.
Did you start using that?
Yeah.
Wait, how did you get into starting to use Cubase? Because very few people I know use that. I know Glenn Main uses that. A few other people that have been on the show. But how did you get into that one?
By accident, actually. There was a promo for like a month free for Cubase. And I was thinking, yeah, let's try it. And through some help from friends, I get used to it. So
Yeah.
that's basically it.
It's funny how that works. I mean, people who would listen to the show know that I use Pro Tools, and that's how I got stuck on that as well. And Dom is always sitting up there with his feet up on the desk laughing at me because he's like talking about how easy FL Studio is. And I'm like, well, actually, I have to do everything manually on this, and I have to find a plugin that will identify the key or whatever. And he's just spinning in his chair, laughing at me, being like, oh, brother, I'm sorry. But, you get used to a DAW, right? And it kind of becomes what you use. Even if there's something easier to use, it is hard to switch over.
We all know that Pro Tools is trash. It's fine.
It is not trash. It's the industry standard. Didn't anyone tell you?
I've never met anybody who uses Pro Tools or has used Pro Tools, besides Dave, that doesn't complain constantly about it.
Yes.
It is very unique to you, and that's totally fine.
I'm also sponsored by Pro Tools, by the way. I should put that out there. Yes, it is very. It requires a lot of extras to do stuff that's baked into like Ableton or FL Studio. I'm not familiar at all with Cubase, so I don't know what kind of extras and kind of helpful things it has. But there's definitely other DAWs out there for music that we make that make stuff a heck of a lot easier than Pro Tools. Yeah, and I just saw in the chat, Sam is another Pro Tools user as well. So that means it's elite.
Right.
Like
we don't
me.
talk about that.
Sorry, you don't have an adult DAW, Dom. No, whatever you use, we all produce the same kind of result from it, I guess. It's just some of us get there, I think, with in a way that is much harder than others, right? Like I have to jump through a bunch of hoops to do stuff that you can do in 2 seconds in FL Studio. So, hello? Did everyone leave?
No, we all left you. We're done. Bye.
Right,
Yeah, exactly.
right. Nacho just hangs up the call as soon as I mention Pro Tools. He's like, I'm out of here for this.
He's like, I'm not even going to hear about Pro Tools.
Right, and then he's talking to a friend or something. He's like, and then he kept going on and on about Pro Tools. And then he started dropping discount codes in the chat. He was.
Exactly.
So what we always do with people is we ask them to bring 3 songs from whatever they're trying to promote or whatever, and then we offer a second block where they can, if they have a large library or they're trying to promote an album, they can do 3 more of their songs, or they can bring in songs that they love or that are influential to them or whatnot. And you've brought 3 artists with you that all happen to be on RetroSynth, which is super cool to me. Is there anything you want to say about any of these tracks and why you like them, or why they're just anything about why you chose these 3 to bring?
Basically, it's just I love these songs. They're such huge influences to me, and some of those artists I'm working together with right now, and I just love the music. Honestly.
Right.
I mean, I could say just bring the other songs in. No, I want to give back to the community. You know what I mean? Just showing my love to other RetroSynth artists, because it's really important.
And you've done something which occasionally happens on the show where people will they're like, oh, here's some 3 songs that I like or whatnot. And they're 3 of these ones you've picked are 3 of my favorite songs that we have currently on the label that have come out recently. And when you were listing these out, like I didn't see them till the morning, and I was like, this is incredible. Like you and I are in sync in like what some of our favorite stuff is right now. So.
Yeah. I mean, most of these artists I have talking over Instagram and do some little collabs, and just people I really love, just awesome people, awesome artists, and just a little thank you,
Yeah, and also I'm excited because I get to hear these songs again for like the 800th time, and every time I can't get enough of all 3. So exactly. I appreciate you doing that. Thinking. So if it's okay with you, let's move on to these, because I think a few of these people are in the chat as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
So anything else you want to add, Dom, before we come in? Any FL Studio promotions you want to fit in?
If you do use FL, you're awesome, by the way.
Okay, so anyways, here I'm just kidding. You're violating my promotional contract with the Pro Tools by talking about
I'm sorry. I mean, it is nowhere as good as Pro Tools.
Thank you. Thank you. The PayPal payment just went through, by the way, for you. So
I get 3% of that.
Right, 3% of the dollar I get. So it's party
That's
time.
right.
So all right,
Exactly.
let's move on to this next block, and
I'm
then
saving up for a Bazooka Joe.
right. Excellent. Yeah, get two this time. Put it on credit.
I don't know. That's maybe.
That's
You're
a
right.
little,
I should
that's a little
splurge.
heavy.
You're right.
You don't want to blow your credit rating with that heavy of a purchase.
Right.
But all right, let's move on to the next block. First one coming up is the newest and one of my favorite tracks of recent time, Running Waiting by Ness Daniels.
know now. And I am bleeding and defeated. Yeah, I'm in control. Yeah, I'm doing it my way. We live to fight another day. Felt the weight of what it brings. From the was a hard day.
And we're back. And again, I love all those songs. Excellent picks. I would say, because it's like me, you have exceptional taste in music, right?
Thank you.
Until you pick something I don't like, and then it's awful, right? No, I'm just kidding. But
Yeah, then you're off the list.
right, then you're off the list, right? You can only pick songs I also really like. But I don't know if you were watching the chat, but there, the game night was asking about Viking Wave. Is it any reference for that? I can't think of anything.
Right.
Jesus, no.
No, right? You know, people do all sorts.
We can make it happen. I
Yeah, we
guess.
can. Right. Oh man, I think Craig might have fallen asleep, but he always just in his memory, if he's not here anymore, he always asks what the guest's favorite breakfast cereal is. Do you have an answer for that?
Honestly, I haven't eaten breakfast cereals for like 15 years.
Yo, me neither. Me neither.
But I guess Cinnamon Toast Crunch it would be. I loved that as a kid, at least.
I love how these cereals, no matter where
Crunch
you are
Crunch
in the
is a
world, these cereals have penetrated every country, I think, in the world. Nobody from a different country has ever come out with like some foreign-sounding name followed by flakes, right? Or something like that. I'm not even going to try to pronounce like a fake, like German word or something, but, something that is... Are there cereals that are like only in Germany that is like popular there that aren't anywhere else?
I don't know. As I said before, I don't eat cereals. I don't know really. I mean, I guess.
Well, this was a
There's
prerequisite to come on the show, extensive breakfast cereal knowledge. So,
I'm sorry. I guess I have to go there.
Right. You failed.
I had a good run.
right. This whole nacho wave thing is really run its course, I think, at this point. So,
I'm quitting.
time to quit. Time to. No, it is interesting to hear, that when Craig first started asking this in the chat, it was kind of silly, but everybody has very similar likes, it seems, in this kind of stuff. Like, we all have this weird child cereal connection.
Who liked the grape nuts the one time that was like on your side about it?
Oh, I forget who. But I do like that cereal.
I remember there was somebody that was like, the one day there were like grape nuts, and Dave was like, huh?
Right, exactly. I don't know, maybe.
It's like, me too?
I remember when Alex was on the show, didn't he make wasn't his song called Grape Nuts or something? Who was that? I forget who
I think
was
so,
that.
because we were talking about grape nuts, and he named it grape nuts.
Right. If it wasn't him, that does seem like a very Alex Lightspeed thing to do, though, is to call it Grape Nuts. But, believe it or not, this is the final... in between songs part of the show. It's already, the show's over in 25 minutes. And we were talking before we got on the show about how fast it feels when you're listening, but did it feel faster? Like, did it feel faster when you were a guest on the show, or did it feel about the same?
It was very fast. I mean, holy Jesus Christ.
Yep, it goes by very quick.
Yeah, even for me, doing this now 45 times, it feels like it's hard to explain. It feels like, you know, a sci-fi movie where like you've been in space and you've aged like a year, but everyone on Earth has aged 40 years. You know, something like a sci-fi movie like that. That's how it feels like to me. Like I'm in this show, I'm in the zone, I'm like paying attention to the chat and talking to the guest or to Dom or whatever we have. And then like I feel like I get out and I'll go upstairs and the whole world has changed, right? Like I look outside and everything's on fire and there's like dragons flying in the sky and I'm like, what happened? You know, like how long was I on this show for? But it feels like it's just been like a second. And Dom, your experience with that? Go on.
I have no experience. I live in a basement.
Right. You're just in the basement all the time. I thought
I'm
you were
just in
filling
the
out.
basement, making music, you know, and making art. And
I thought my example had you in the middle of asking Chat GPT how to write a resignation letter that won't make somebody sad.
Oh, I've done that, but no, those are I've already have them pre-written.
You got those pre-written with a lawyer waiting waiting to deliver them at any moment.
Yes.
Right. See, I knew it.
Yes, exactly. I'm literally, I've already, anyone I've come in contact with, I have a series of letters.
Right. A series of positive and negative letters for all different situations.
Yes. That's right.
I'm sorry I ruined your car, right? Or something like that letter is already written for me.
Yeah.
For any
when
future meetings.
I die, they're gonna find all these like nonsensical papers
right.
Everywhere, and they're gonna be like, "Man, this guy just wrote a letter for like literally everybody for everything." Like, sorry, I drink your Coca-Cola. Like, why?
Right. Dear Nacho Wave, I'm sorry I stole your track and made it huge and profited off it, or something like that. Literally everything you can think of.
Anything I can think of. Yeah. Right.
So going off this Dom's huge letter project he's got going on. Do you have anything going on for your birthday? Your birthday is actually today, right? Or was it yesterday?
No, it's today.
Today. So are you doing anything fun that's worth sharing? I guess.
No, I guess not. And just home. I'm off work, chilling with some friends. Maybe later. Nothing really planned for today.
That's my favorite kind.
Chilling.
That's my favorite kind. I would much rather like go out with some friends or even just hang out with people that I really like to like celebrate a birthday than like some huge event. And I have some friends that like this kind of stuff, like let's plan a ton of stuff. That's never been my way. I just want to be around people I like and relax, I guess, in life.
I mean, it's my 29th birthday, so it's nothing special. I don't know about next year. Maybe I will do something bigger because it's the big 30. But
yeah.
We'll see.
That makes sense, though, right? And it's like for me when I turned 44, I was like, they're like, "Do you want to do something?" I'm like, I don't know, no. I'm like,
I want to just sit here and contemplate life. No, I remember my 29th to 30, my 30th birthday. I remember I planned on having like an actual party. Like I wasn't doing a surprise. I was planning on having people come over, and then literally like a week before I canceled it. And then I was like, I don't want to do anything. And then I think I ended up going into like going out to eat and like watching a movie with my wife, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, it wasn't bad, but I'm just saying like I thought I wanted like this big party, and then I was dreading 30, but then I loved my 30s. My 30s were the best. I think the anybody in their 30s is probably having way better time than they did in their 20s, unless unfortunate events or something like that.
Right. But I think you that's one of those things where you might not recognize it until you're in your 40s or that kind of thing, or in your late 30s, because I think with every era in life you look back on that time, and even if it's a bad time or whatever, there's positive things you can pick out from it that you feel nostalgic about.
Well, let's see when I'm in my 30s. I don't know if I want to look back at my 20s because, yeah.
Right.
Right. I'm just saying.
Well, it's
funny,
funny,
I
right?
just remember my 20s. I was playing a lot of shows. I mean, there was a lot of good things that happened in my 20s, but I mean that like mentally, 30s is way better. Maybe not physically, but mentally.
Right. I think they say you don't really stop growing your brain right until you're like 25. Is that accurate? Something like that?
24, I believe, for males, and then females, I think it's like 22 or something.
Right, that seems accurate. Right. Like
I want to say it's something.
They're more advanced, than us, and we're still like
Well, they have to be. I
Right.
mean, that's just the way it is.
We're still running into each other and filming it or something like that. We're like 25.
We're men. We're big, brutish, animals, and then
Right.
they have to be the sly foxes.
Right,
They gotta be
exactly. Exactly.
I think all of us stupid males.
Right. Well, that was me anyways back in the day.
Right.
So it's like people are doing some real smart stuff. And I'm like, what if we jumped off this roof, but we fell into
Wouldn't
a
that be-
bunch of, like blankets or something like that?
Like, I raked all these leaves. I'm almost certain they'll survive me falling 2 stories.
Right.
I think this is fine.
Exactly.
I got my blanket.
Right.
You know
Then
what I mean?
you'll
I can-
test it out. You'll test it out with like a basketball. And you're like, the basketball looked fine. This should be.
I was watching Looney Tunes literally last week, and I saw the guy with a big bed sheet, and he fell off and then just floated down.
Right.
It
Just
was like a
floated
bear-
down. Right. Exactly.
Right. It'll do it.
I think that's why Jackass landed so well with our generation, because it appealed so much to things we were already thinking, but we're smart enough not to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, every boy I've ever met, I can't say the same thing for every female, but every male I've ever met, growing up, we all had the stupidest ideas for things that we could do, and then inevitably get hurt doing said thing, or just barely scathe, you barely missed getting seriously injured.
Right. Exactly.
That's true. That's true.
But hey, we're coming up to that unfortunate time where we have to say goodbye. We got 3 tracks left to play, and I got to be off at noon my time. So I wanted to personally thank you and wish you a happy birthday. And
Happy birthday.
I appreciate you as a colleague and as a friend, and I really hope that you continue on making this incredible music. And I'm very honored to have you on the show today.
Well, I'm very honored to be on this show. Excuse me. As well, it's I think we talked about that before.
Yeah.
And you said, yeah, maybe if you drop an album. I mean that's totally fine. I see that. But the first time I was checking this show and was like, wow, I would really love to be, talking to you all and interact with that. I mean, it's pretty awesome, really.
I always say that if I know somebody is going to be producing an album, because there's people that want to be on the show, and we have a calendar and stuff like that, and if somebody's coming on and they're talking about some of a single or some older stuff or whatever, and then they drop an album a month later, I'm always like, oh, you should have been on when the album dropped, that kind of stuff. So I'm glad that we were able to wait a couple months so you were able to be on to promote this excellent album of yours.
Yeah, I mean, as you said before, the stars aligned today.
Right, perfect. And the fact that it happened to be your birthday and everything, I mean, it really did work out. But Dom, I appreciate you as well. Thank you for sticking with me through 45 episodes. And our Switch...
It feels 45 years. No, I'm kidding.
Right, no, it feels 45 decades, I think, at this point, right?
Right. No, it's coming up on a year, and I'm really excited about that. It's not too far away. And we appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out with us and chatting with us and enjoying the music with us and listening to us say nonsensical things.
Yep.
And we really hope everybody will be there with us on the new Saturday show.
Yep.
And just know that we love you all, and that you should be kind to each other and to yourselves. All right.
And you always say, and I think about this and explain this to people, which is not new information, but being kind to other costs you nothing and feels amazing. To be kind, to be treated kindly by others, and
right, and then you just wait for them to walk away, and then you trash talk.
Right, you trash talk after they walk away. You're kind to their face.
It's such a good feeling after. You know what I mean?
Right. All right, guys, we got to move on to this. Thank you again, Nacho, for coming on, and Dom. We'll see you on October 4th on Saturday morning. Later, everyone.
Later.
All right.